As your process of ascension progresses, the myriad aspects of your multidimensional self merge as your many lives on countless timelines, worlds, galaxies, and dimensions begin to connect like pearls on a necklace. These aspects of your multidimensional self are the pearls, and you are the string. When your physical world is too challenging, one expression of your multidimensional self in one timeline is almost too much to handle. However, as you progressively live in surrender and allow the oneness of the now to be revealed with your every breath, more and more aspects of yourself comes online in your ever-expanding multidimensional consciousness. With the knowledge and wisdom of higher and higher dimensional expressions of yourself, you remember more about living in surrender. When you live in surrender, life is a holographic movie in which you are the primary character. This character that you are playing has increasing wisdom, power, and love as you increasingly connect with the ever-expanding reality of your multidimensional self. All of these expressions of yourself are within what you once thought of as an individual life. Now you know that each individual storyline, life, specific incarnation, is rich and challenging in its own unique way. As you consciously connect with more expressions of your multidimensional self, you regain a conscious connection to the myriad worlds, planets, galaxies, and dimensions to which these versions of yourself resonate. Whenever you accept another aspect of your multidimensional self into your conscious awareness, that self brings its entire stream of lives, realities, and expressions on many planets, star systems, galaxies, and dimensions. If that is not enough, you also have parallel and alternate realities, as well as possible and probable realities that may or may not occur. All these lives are occurring simultaneously within the now of the One. Each of these apparently singular expressions has myriad expressions of self that live in countless realities with infinite potential. All of these expressions of your immense multidimensional self are connected with each other. In fact, they are merged with each other. When these aspects of your multidimensional selves and their many realities come into your conscious awareness, they merge into the oneness of the fifth dimension and beyond. Within this oneness, all these myriad realities and potentials exist in different dimensions, as well as in differing stages of formation. Only third, fourth dimensional realities are bound by time and separation, but fifth dimensional experiences are free of the encumbrance of time. Each third, fourth dimensional reality is interacting in a time dance of potential, beginning, occurring, ending, and concluding. These potential, beginning, occurring, ending, and concluded realities are perceived as occurring now within the one of the fifth dimension and beyond. Hence, your multidimensional self can enter or exit any reality as simply as opening or closing a window. Your third dimensional self perceives a reality as being physical and bound by sequential time. Your fourth dimensional self perceives reality as being astral, in which time shifts from past, present, or future, but is sequential within each timeline. Your fifth dimensional self perceives a reality filled with light bodies interacting within the here of the now. Your sixth dimensional self perceives the now of each reality from the perspective of the core light matrix of every being and location. Your seventh dimensional oversoul self simultaneously perceives the now of all the realities in which you have, are, or will experience form as one ornate and complete matrix of expressions. Your eighth dimension and beyond self is no longer bound by form, and exists as pure consciousness in different stages of returning to source. All realities are perceived as fields of energy, which you influence with your force of unconditional love. Meanwhile, your third dimensional expressions are having a difficult time experiencing only one reality at a time. How can your physical self connect with and understand these myriad phases of countless realities? This understanding has to do with how you store information in your brain, which works much like one of your computers. Do you remember how your early computers were limited to a small amount of information? You would have to print out the information or store it on physical disks so that your computer would not become overloaded. All of these copies and/or disks were third-dimensional, and each of them was separate. Each disk of information had to be stored in a physical place and categorized so that you could find it when you wanted to access that information. If you forgot where you had stored that information, it was very difficult to retrieve it. Sometimes you would have to go through each disk and/or printed copy in order to find what you needed. There is much more storage within your present-day computers. Also, even if you are not good at organization, you can retrieve any information by writing it in the upper right-hand corner of your computer. Not only does your present-day computer store much more information, it can store infinite amounts of information by putting it into the cloud. The cloud is huge, beyond your imagination, and all the information stored there intermingles with the other information. You can easily find your own information by typing its title on your computer or other computerized device. The cloud maintains everyone's anonymity, meets everyone's needs, and is automatically upgraded. Your multidimensional mind operates much like the cloud. Just as many individuals gathered together to create the cloud's manner of storage, the many individuals within your multidimensional self are working together to gather all the information about all the expressions of your infinite, multidimensional self, in your version of the cloud, which is your multidimensional mind. You can consider your multidimensional mind as a cloud of the now, where all information is stored in a non-manifest manner. When you access the cloud of your multidimensional mind, you access all your own personal and collective information from all your realities. Everyone shares this cloud multidimensional mind, as it resonates to the fifth dimension, which is beyond time and/or separation. We are not advertising a new technology. We are reminding you that technology reflects how many humans are remembering that there is a place where everything is always stored. This place is your own multidimensional mind of your higher self. Your higher self lives within unity consciousness with all the myriad expressions of yourself, as well as with all life on myriad dimensions. When you remember how to communicate with your higher self, you can gain answers to everything that you have ever experienced in any reality and any version of your multidimensional self. Your challenge is to release the third-dimensional thoughts and emotions that bind you to your third-dimensional thinking. You may ask, do I release my 3D thoughts first or my 3D emotions first? The answer to that question is, you do not need to release anything once you are in intimate connection with your higher self. Thoughts and emotions interact in a constant dance of creation and manifestation. When you remember that all your thoughts and emotions are expressions of your state of consciousness, it will become increasingly easier to calibrate your listening to the frequency of the higher self. When you remember how to listen and/or see your higher self, you will remember how to listen to all the frequencies of all life around you. For example, if you can listen to your own fifth-dimensional self, you will be able to communicate with the fifth-dimensional elementals. When you listen with your fourth-dimensional emotions, you will be more able to hear the aura of the plants and animals around you. When you can consciously listen to all life, you move into the unity with all life of your innate fifth-dimensional consciousness. It is not an easy task for a modern human to allow a hummingbird to tell you why it chose that flower, or listen to the flower that the hummingbird has chosen. You may find that it is easier to begin communication with all life via the fifth-dimensional unity consciousness of your higher self. You can begin with your fourth-dimensional meditations and dreams, which will assist you to remember how to commune with your higher self on the slightly different frequency. Whatever your state of consciousness, please remember that the greatest leaders are the servants to all that they lead. As you travel around your area, see not how each area is different. Instead, realize how each area of Gaia's beautiful body is united within the one of her being. Just as your hands, feet, voice, hearing, seeing, digestion, breathing, thinking, feeling, etc. appear to be separate, they are all a component of you. In the same manner, all the different areas that you will visit, commune with, bless, and transmute, are components of Gaia's oneness. Also, all the different experiences, conversations, creations, and ideas, are instantly shared with your own higher self. How could it be otherwise? Your higher self is you.